Hey everybody, I'm back with my co-hosts for the evening, Academy Award winners Craig Barron and Ben Burt. Lot to talk about in this movie. It's tempting to think the sword fight is the only thing worth talking about, but there's much more. This was in Technicolor. And Technicolor, I've learned, posed a problem with rear projection, which was used so often for special effects. Why is color fairly incompatible with rear projection?
Well, it's technically not incompatible. It's just that as they were developing new techniques with the Technicolor camera, it required a lot of light. They would have to illuminate the set with very high amounts of foot candles, and rear projection didn't work that well with color photography with Technicolor. So they developed another technique and started using it on this film called blue screen compositing, which would be done in an optical printer. And the way you would do that would be to put your characters in front of a blue screen and then through a composite process add the background. So you didn't have to project the image right on the set. You would do it in a post-production process where it wasn't quite as demanding on the technical aspects of it. One problem, though, that they had in early blue screen work is that if an actor had blonde hair, like Janet Leigh, unfortunately, where her hair was blonde, it would tend to wrap the blue around the fine points of her hair. It would sort of make a rim light of blue, and that would then mean a transparent area in her hair, so it wouldn't matte very well. So it was very difficult just at that time to use the blue screen process with blonde actresses. But fortunately, it was a costume drama, so you'll notice that she's always in a hat. So they do their best to sort of put a hat on her and get around the problem with that technique.
Technology has advanced significantly. We don't have that problem with blonde hair anymore.
Right. I'm referring to the photochemical aspect of using blue screen. Today, of course, we have a digital equivalent of that, which is done as a composite process. And now we've been able to sort of finesse those little problems so that they're not an issue anymore.
Is there any more rear projection in movies?
Yes, it comes back. And there are examples of it because even though it's a technique that has been surpassed by green screen and blue screen, as you say, there is a sort of synergy that happens with rear projection because the actors can actually see the image on the screen. And now that digital projectors are getting brighter and better, there's many examples in contemporary films where they've decided to use rear projection and reinvent it as a technique.
The film Oblivion used a lot of rear projection.
No,
recent
right,
times, yeah.
And Interstellar, which just won the Oscar for visual effects, and part of the compelling aspect of that film was the actors could actually look through the spaceship at the phenomena outside the windows.
I'm not an actor, but I have to imagine that being able to react to something tangible that you could see makes the performance, at least in your head, easier.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, good stuff, as usual. Thanks very much. Coming up next, our spotlight on the work of Arnold Gillespie continues with a maritime mishap starring Gary Cooper and Charlton Heston.
Tonight on TCM's Friday Night Spotlight, Gary Cooper and Charlton Heston dive deep for the wreck of the Mary Dear. Then Jean Harlow goes overboard for Clark Gable on the China Seas. And Jane Wyman wears a wide array of disguises in stage fright.